Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you, and today we will continue the revision for chapter 4 Linear and Nonlinear Functions Part 2. أهلا بكم من جديد في Simple Math for you، واليوم سنكمل مراجعة الفصل الرابع الدوال الخطية واللا خطية الجزء الثاني. And we are in question 17. Select the graph of f of x. It's a piecewise defined function. We have two definitions. So we have two pieces, each with different definition. عندنا قطعتين كل واحدة إلها تعريفها الخاص. القطعة الأولى, the first piece, which is this one. f of x is equal to 2 when x is less than or equal to 0. So if you assume x, you cannot assume any value of x more than 0. So you will start by the 0 itself and we will go 1 before or 1 below minus 1. نختار نبدأ من الزيرو, and we know that 0 is included, and that means we will close the circle. When you replace, when you use it here, there is no x to replace, so the y will always be equal to 2, y دائما 2. And that means it will be horizontal line passing through y equals to 2, starting from x equals to 0. And this is the only graph that has this situation. 0, 2, sorry, 0, I mean negative 2, you mean? Negative 2, yes. 0 and negative 2 is the only one, which is here. 0 and negative 2. So this is the only one, and the closed circle here is included, as it's very clear here. Let's check the other definition, since it's a revision. Other definition is f of x is x plus 1 when x is more than 1. So it will start by x is 1 and y will depend on x. It's equal to x plus 1. We will start by x equals to 1, knowing that 1 is not included with us. So we will open the circle here. And then here we will use x equals to 2. So x equals to 2 will be also included, and I will replace. When x is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. When x is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So 1 will be paired with 2, and this, here we are, and it's open circle. And we have also 2 is paired with 3, and it's shown here. This is the starting point, and then we will extend the line. So definitely, this is the right choice. Let's extend the idea here to find the domain. It's not required, but let's revise the domain. Domain is all the values of x that can be used here. In our function here, we have 2 points that the function changes the definition. The first one is 0, the other one is 1. The first one is defined everywhere less than or equal to 0. The second definition starting from 1, not including the 1, going to the right, more than 1. So the domain here is not all real numbers. It's just when x less than or equal to 0 or when x is more than 1. There is a part here not included in our domain. Now the range. What is the range? Range is all values of y that has been used or that have been used. In the first function, the first definition, I mean, we have only used y equals to 2. In the second one, we have used y is greater than or equal to 2. It starts with 2 and it's increasing. And it is shown here in the definition, 2 and above. 2 and above have been used here. So that means my range here is y more than 2 or y is equal to negative 2. We have 2 parts of my range. Okay, let's move on. Joy wants to rent a surfboard The cost is $13 for every hour rented. Each hour has a rent of $13. And any fraction of an hour is rounded up to the next hour. That means for 0 to 1 hour, and for x more than or equal to 0, more than 0, and less than 1 hour, يعني 0.5, half an hour, 1/4 of an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 55 minutes, all will be paid as $13. If we have 1 hour and 1 minute, 1 hour and 1/2, so when x exceeds the 1, but it is less than or equal to 2, then you will pay another $13. So you will pay $26. You will pay 13 for the first hour and 13 for the next hour. And we will continue this way. That means we will have intervals. And that means we will look for the function, the graph that fits this idea. Actually, the function here, the best fit is B, because if x is 0, the x0, that means I will not pay anything. If x is 0, I will not pay anything. That means nothing here. But if x is between 0 and 1, it means just 1 minute, just after the 0, you will pay, or he will be paid $13. After that, it will move up to 26 to 39, increasing by 13 every time. And that is the best one. Okay, if you check this one, it is very similar, but it shows that if number of hours is 0, and if you play nothing, you will pay the 13. The closed circle here means 0 and 13 is included, which is not the right one. This one is not the correct idea because it's not discrete. And this one also is not correct because it is open between in the intervals, all of them are open. The fourth choice is not the good choice because it is not showing the correct interval. Okay, let's see now what will happen here. The equation 18x plus 9y equals to 63 represent the number of large pizzas x and small pizzas y. So this represents L and this M pizza. And it can be bought for 63 dirhams. If no large pizzas are ordered, no large pizzas means x is 0. How many small pizzas will be bought or can be bought? So simply you can just cancel the x because it's 0, and you will now solve equation including the y only. 9y is 63 dividing by 9, so y is 7. And this is the correct one. Okay, here the graph shows how many school sweatshirts and t-shirts Rolla can buy with $60. Give the y-intercept and interpret what it means in your own words. Y-intercept is the value where the line crosses the y-axis. So our y-intercept is 4. Y-intercepts usually is when x0, so this corresponds to this point. As we see here, x-axis represent the t-shirt, so this is the number of t-shirts. Y-coordinate represent the sweaters or sweatshirts. This means that at y-intercept, no t-shirts were bought. So that means if Rula decides not to buy t-shirts, so for no t-shirts means number of t-shirts is 0, Rula can buy 4 sweaters or sweatshirts because her budget is $60. That means each one will cost 15. Okay, perfect. Now we will see also here another function, f of x is equal to 2/3 x plus 3. Now, it represents the relation between x and f of x. We have missing points here. Let's call this A, and this B, and this C, and this D. If you want to find A, for example, we have to replace by x equals to -3. So replace with or by x is -3. So f of x, it means f of -3 is 2/3. I will take this x and replace it by -3 and evaluate. The calculator can help, but it's easy. Cancel the 3. Now 2 times -1, -2. -2 plus 3 is 1. So my A here is 1. I will write it here. Okay, B. B, as you see, it's very clear to know the B here from the equation directly, because B is my, here the 3 is the y-intercept. It means directly that x was cancelled here. That means B is 0. X is 0. X was 0 here when the f of x is 3. Okay. C. How can I find C? Again, replace with x is 3, or you can see the pattern here. This is 5 and this is 7 because it is a linear function. If you replace and try, 2/3 times 3 plus 3, this goes, so 2 plus 3 is 5. Here, if you don't know, or if you did not notice that it is the y-intercept, simply you can replace the f of x by 3 and solve for x. Subtracting 3 from both sides, we have 0 is 2/3 times x. If you want to solve the equation, simply multiply by 3/2 to cancel. So x is 0 by anything is 0. And we know that without these calculations. Which pairs of points form a line with negative slope? Select all that apply. Slope formula can be used to find the slope between any 2 points, slope of a line passing by 2 points. So we can apply. We can reduce the number of times we repeat this procedure. Here, x is the same. That means this has not negative slope. This has the same x. This is a vertical line, so it was undefined slope. So we will not try this one. If you try A, this is x1, y1, x2, y2, y2 minus y1, 0 minus 2 over minus 4 minus 3. It's minus 2 over minus 7. So it's 2/7. So this is a wrong choice. If you try the B, 1 minus 5/3 minus 7. It's 6/4. It's negative slope, even if you don't simplify. 3/2. So yes, it is. And when you repeat the procedure, you will realize that C has also a negative slope and E as well has negative slope. We have many correct choices here. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. We all know that now. The vertical line has undefined slope. And it is usually by dividing any number by 0. If you apply the formula, you will find 0 in the denominator. The table shows the cost of tuition for an international university by year. Find the rate of change from 210 to 12. So we have here 2010 is paired with 8500. 2012 is paired with 10,100. And we will apply the rate of change or the slope formula, y2 minus y1. So these, subtract them, over x2 minus x1. So we will subtract this minus that. And using the calculator directly, it gives you $800 per year. Definitely, it is easy. Khalifa can run 5 miles in 40 minutes. It takes him 60 minutes to run 8 miles. What is the rate of change in the number of miles Khalifa can run? So we want miles per minute. That means we need change in miles over change in minutes. That means the miles will be our y and the minutes will be our x. So here, x minutes, we have 40 and number of miles 5. Here we have x minutes means 60, number of miles 8. So we will name it as x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Applying rate of change or slope formula, so 8 minus 5 over 20, which is 0.15, as it's very clear here, miles per minute. Graph negative x equals half y minus 4. Use table of values or the intercepts. This time I will use table of values. Since x is solved for, is on one side already, we can say that we can multiply the equation by -1 to have x, not negative x. So when you multiply by -1, all the signs will change. Why I'm doing that? Because when I am generating my table, I will assume y now to solve for x, because y is our input here. So if you assume y 0, x is 0 plus 4, which is z4. Assume y is 2, and I'm assuming it 2 because I have denominator 2 here, so I will use multiples of 2, 2 or 4 or 6. So when y is 2, x is negative half times 2 plus 4, which is -1 plus 4, which is 3. Plotting the point 4, 0, it's on the y-axis. 3, 2, going to 3 up to 2 is over there, and match properly. This is my line. Determine the type of transformation in each function as it relates to the parent function. Here we have 3x. This is dilation, and it is vertical stretch, because it's non-group outside the group, because 3 is more than 1. This has not minus sign outside the group, so it is a reflection. And since outside it is across the x-axis, we need to memorize that. Here we have subtraction, so it is translation. The type to a translation, and it will be 3 units, vertical translation, because it's non-grouped outside the group, 3 units up, vertical down, because -3 down. Here there is multiplication, multiply, so it is dilation, and the multiplication is outside as well, outside the group, so it is multiplied by 4, so it is vertical stretch. Here we have -2 outside, so it is vertical translation, and it is 2 units down as well. Describe the transformation in this graph. Here we have many transformations. It is originally identity. The parent function was the identity function, linear. So let's see what happened here. The first thing is the minus here. So the minus here outside, so it is reflection over or across x-axis. We have here another transformation due to this 3 multiplied inside the group. Since it is multiplication, so it is dilation. Sorry, so it's dilation. And dilation means either vertical stretch or or compressed or whatever. So the 3 is inside the group, so it is horizontally compressed because it is inside the group. And number 3, we have here -5 inside the group, so it is 5 units, translation horizontally, 5 units to the right. And the last thing we have here, the 2 is outside, so it is 2 units up. Vertical translation, 2 units up. Write the equation for the absolute value graph, then find its domain and range. Let's remember what was the parent function of the absolute value. The absolute value function parent function was f of x, absolute value of x. And it has this shape originally. Slope is 1, and it has V shape. And as you see, I'm trying to cross all 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, -1, -1, because the slope was 1. Slope here, 1/1, which is 1. So let's see here what happened. We can see that this function has been moved 2 units to the right. So when you write the function here, h of x, I write it in red, I have to use the absolute value here, and I will write x. Inside, I will write -2 because it has been moved to the right. Now, also we can realize here that it has been moved 2 units up. حرك إلى الأعلى نقطتين. So I will add 2 outside the group. Now the last step, we have seen that it's not reflected, it is opening up still, so we will not put minus. Now the last step will be finding the slope. The slope can be found by taking 2 points on any part, any portion. I'll take this point and this point. And the rise here is 1, the run is 2. So my slope is rise over run, which is 1/2. I know it's negative slope, but I will not consider any negative sign here since this function was not reflected. So I will write the slope that I found here, 1/2, rise over run. Now domain. Domain always for any absolute value function is all real numbers. The range starts from this point. The y starts from 2, and it's very clear that it starts from the 2. The original function, the parent one, is starting from 0 and above, so y greater than or equal to 0. So here it's shifted up 2 units, so your range is y more than or equal to 0. المدى من 0 وطالع، من 0 فوق كان الأصلي. Now it has been shifted 2 units up، تحرك إلى الأعلى, so it will be more than or equal to 2. As it's very clear here, if you see that everything on y has been shifted above the 2. Select all situations that represent the graph of step function. A bus driving 40 miles for 2 hours, actually it is linear, not a step function. A carnival changing its entrance fee between the hours of 3 and 5, so it changes the fee. And then again from 8 to 10, so it has intervals. Yes, it is. Here, this one, we are talking about this one. Yes. The price of gas taken at certain time each day over week time. Yes, it is, because the price is taken for day 1, day 2, day 3, and this day will include many minutes, many hours, everything at certain time. The distance a ball falls after it's thrown into the air. Actually, the distance is linear. It is not step. Yani it is a certain point, say for example, it was like this. At a certain point, this height, a certain point, this height, certain point, this height. So at each second, it will have different y. While the previous one, we have certain interval. And the last one, a library overdue fee for each day or a partial day. So here we have library overdue fee for each day or partial day. So we have fees that is calculated per interval. So yes, this is a step function. Given the function, graph the function, then find the domain and the range. Okay. For this function, I will divide my work into two pieces. This is piece number 1. This is piece number 2. For piece number 1, we have f of x is negative x plus 2, where x less than or equal to minus 3. So I will take the value started from minus 3, and it is included with my interval less than or equal to minus 3. So I'll take minus 4. I will replace now with x. When x is minus 3, so minus of minus 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2 is 5, so my y is 5. When x is minus 4, I will take the x, replace it by minus 4, so 4 plus 2 is 6. Now, for first piece, I will graph it. Minus 3 and 5, I go to minus 3 up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we are. And this is the first point, and it will be closed circle. The second point closed because less than or equal, more than or equal, it is closed circle. The second point, minus 4 and 6, going to minus 4 and up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are here, over there. This is the starting point, and this is passing by point. So this is the first piece. Second piece, I'll change the color. My function is negative 2x plus 1, and this happens when x is more than negative 3. So I will start by x minus 3, and then more than minus 3, so minus 2 is a good point. This is my x, this is my y, and then I will replace with this value once when minus 3. So if it is minus 3, minus 2 times minus 3 plus 1, 6 plus 1 was 7. And minus 3 and minus 7 is over there. And it is open circle here. Over there, here, yes. And then I erase it, I'll erase it, and I'll do it again here for better clarity. So the first one, minus 3 and minus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the first one. For the second, for the black one, minus 4 and minus 6, 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the second point. This is the first line. The second one, I changed the color. Minus 3 and 7. So here we are, and it is open circle. And minus 2, minus 2 with minus 2, 4. 4 plus 1 is 5, so minus 2 and 5. This is minus 2, and this is 5, somewhere here. And this will be on the way, so this is my second piece. Okay. Now, did I use all the points? Did I use everything? Actually, I will check whether I used everything or not. This is the point 1, which is when x is minus 3. This is minus 3. I have used all the points below the minus 3 and above the minus 3. So my domain is all real numbers. Now, my range will also include all real numbers since I have used this value and below, and I used also this value and above, the y value above and y value and below. That means I used all real numbers in y as well. I will stop here and I will continue in part 3. So see you there.